Hello, welcome to the European Open briefing for Friday, September the 15th. I'm Rafi Bajan, currency analyst at xm.com, and we're going to be taking a look at what's happening in the currency markets today. So we do have a bit of a risk aversion in the markets this morning. North Korea fired another missile over Japan early in the morning during Asian trading. The dollar fell on those reports, but it did recover quickly. And there was also a limited reaction by safe havens. Although overall we are seeing slightly mixed risk sentiment the last day of trading. The pound, though, is extending yesterday's gains following the Bank of England policy meeting, where although they kept policy unchanged, they did signal at a rate hike in the near future. The euro is fairly steady against the dollar. We're seeing more and more ECB policymakers coming out, and they all seem to be pretty much in agreement that we are going to see a decision on tapering soon. And in commodities, oil is slightly down this morning. That's mainly due to profit taking after strong gains this week. Let's start with the US dollar now. We can see dollar yen in orange in the chart here. We can see that dip below the 110 level to 109.54, but then recovering very quickly. And this is because the markets were expecting some kind of response by North Korea following those fresh sanctions by the UN earlier in the week. This was really nothing new based on what we've been seeing in recent months. So that's why there was much less panic in the markets for the latest missile launch by North Korea. But yesterday the dollar did see a spike upwards after US inflation beat expectations. We saw CPI rising to 1.9% year on year, beating expectations of 1.8%. Core inflation was unchanged, but it was above expectations of 1.6%. And this has pushed up the odds of another rate hike this year. So odds of a December rate hike have gone back above 50%. So that is supportive for the dollar. We saw 10-year US Treasury yields rise to 1 month high of 2.225. They've since eased back to around 2.19% at the moment. So the focus now will be retail sales and industrial output data. That's due later in the day in the US session, and that will be the last piece of major data ahead of next week's FOMC meeting. Although we know that the Fed will not be raising rates in September, and we have a pretty good idea of what they're going to be saying about the balance sheet reduction, given their clear communication in recent months, but it's going to be important to know, to see what Yellen is going to say about inflation, because following the latest inflation numbers, they might be a bit more hawkish again, and that would therefore drive the dollar even higher. Let's have a look at gold prices and gold's response to North Korea. As I said, there was another missile strike launch by North Korea. It flew over the Japanese northern island of Hokkaido. It landed in the Pacific Ocean. As I said, this was expected, so we did see gold rise to around $1,334 an ounce after those reports, but then it retreated to $1,326 at the moment. Gold actually had been rising since late yesterday because there were some reports that North Korea was preparing to launch another strike, but we are seeing that initial response receding, and same can be said for the yen and the Swiss franc. Looking at what's happening in the pound now, because the pound is at its highest for more than a year. It touched 1.3449 against dollar a short while ago. The euro is at a 2 months low of 0.8864. The Bank of England kept policy unchanged as expected, and we only saw two dissenters. Some were saying we might possibly see three dissenters, but both the statement and the meeting minutes, they were very clear in saying that a majority of MPC members are in favor of some withdrawal of monetary stimulus over the coming months if growth and inflationary pressures continue growing. So it's quite possible that by possibly early next year, if not at the November policy meeting, we could see a rate hike by the Bank of England. So it's going to be important to see what MPC members will be saying over the coming weeks and months. We've got one MPC member, Gerjan Vlich, speaking later at 08:50 GMT, and Mark Carney will be speaking on Monday. He'll be giving a speech at the IMF, so those are probably going to be high on everyone's watch list. Looking at the euro, we did see the euro dipping yesterday as the dollar spiked up, but then the euro did recover against the dollar. It has been edging slightly upwards from that fall it had on Tuesday. Yesterday, though, it did touch a two-week low. We can see 1.1836 here, but it's recovered quite comfortably to back above the 1.19 level. Yesterday we saw the Bundesbank president, ECB board member Jens Wiedmann, saying that the bank should ease up on the accelerator with regards to its commodity monetary policy, and that's pretty much in line with what many other ECB officials have been saying over the past few days. So it's looking more and more likely that we will get an announcement by October, although the euro isn't really responding much to those comments. I think that announcement has already been priced in, so what everyone is waiting for now is the exact nature and size of the tapering decision that's going to be coming most likely at October. Looking at oil prices, both WTI and Brent crude have dipped low this morning. That's mainly due to profit taking. Early in the week, we saw more upbeat assessments by both OPEC and IEA, both of them saying that demand is going to be higher than their previous forecasts for this year and the next. And also, we are seeing the impact of the hurricanes, particularly Hurricane Harvey, receding as more US refineries reopen. So that has boosted oil prices. WTI hit a 3.5-month high of $50.50, and Brent crude hit a 5-month high of 55.99, just shy of the 56 level. Both are up sharply over the week. WTI up 4% and Brent crude more than 2%. Looking at today's economic calendar, the main focus will be, of course, the retail sales numbers out of the US. We're also going to have industrial output and the preliminary University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index. That's also going to be important. That's the September reading. So all of that will probably play a big role in what happens to the US dollar before the trading closes at the end of the week. That's it from me. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day.